The wait for Stranger Things Season 5 is still going on, and many can't help but wonder what we will see in it. Yes, we know we just got Season 4 a few months ago, but that's long enough for fans to wonder all sorts of things about how the final season is going to be.
It's time.
Don't try to be heroes. There is no shame in running.
There's a lot of pressure to get things right, and the head duo of the Duffer Brothers are no doubt going to go all out to make the final season its best in more ways than one. But here's the question: how many new faces will we see in Season 5? It might not be as many as you think it'll be.
Hey, Mark. Paused at 53 seconds, 5.
53 minutes and 5 seconds.
Something around that.
Number 4, no new faces? In an interview with IndieWire, Stranger Things creators Matt and Ross Duffer said that they are trying to avoid introducing new characters in the show's 5th and final season. The duo says that any new characters introduced in previous seasons needed to be an integral part of the narrative, and that there was always anxieties about new characters taking time away from other already established characters. Ross Duffer reflects on Sync, Montgomery, Hawk, and Quinn being added to the cast, saying that they have been phenomenal to work with, and any nervousness about their characters being a part of the ensemble cast was quickly dissipated. However, the Duffers also say that they are trying to avoid adding new characters for Season 5, and they want to focus more on the existing Stranger Things characters. Matt Duffer specifically said, "I just like shaking it up, so we shake it up by changing the plot or adding in a new monster. We're doing our best to resist adding new characters for Season 5. We're trying not to do that so we can focus on the OG characters, I guess." Though Stranger Things has had massive success with newly added characters in later seasons, with the series coming to an end in Season 5, the Duffers seem to want to focus on already beloved fan-favorite characters. Rather than adding new cast members and characters to the massively popular show, the final season will focus largely on the characters that audiences have been with for years, so as to give Stranger Things a sense of closure and completion. With a fairly sizable ensemble cast as it is, there are plenty of stories to explore in Season 5 without adding in any new characters. Of course, the Duffer Brothers are a bit famous for going back on what they think will work to make things better. The character of Steve is a great example of this, or how Maya Hawke has factored into things. Plus, given how Season 4 ended, all of Hawkins is in danger, and we haven't met everyone who lives in Hawkins. So adding a few small new faces might be necessary to help certain plot points to happen. We'll just have to wait and see for sure. But what we can say is, number 3, this is the end. 7 years ago, we planned out the complete story arc for Stranger Things. Series creators and showrunners Matt and Ross Duffer wrote in an open letter to the fans that they did place online. At the time, we predicted the story would last 4 or 5 seasons. It proved too large to tell in 4, but as you'll soon see for yourselves, we are now hurtling toward our finale. Season 4 will be the penultimate season, Season 5 will be the last. So they did confirm that Season 5 is it, that's the end, and they are not talking any spin-offs just yet. Another thing that the Duffer Brothers have made sure to do with Stranger Things is not just plan out what's coming, but make sure that each season is its own story that can be built upon later. We like to look at each season as kind of its own complete story, Matt Duffer told Deadline. We do have a pretty large mythology, and season by season we're turning the page and revealing a little bit more and more. So we do have a general sense of where we're going. We've known the ending of the show for quite a while. We know what the end is, and we know when it is, Ross Duffer said. The pandemic has given us time to look ahead, figure out what is best for the show. Starting to fill that out gave us a better idea of how long we need to tell that story. During the 6-month pandemic hiatus, we outlined Season 5 and pitched it to Netflix. The Duffers also told Variety, but the gap should be quite a bit shorter this time due to the fact that we already have an initial outline and we can't imagine that there will be another 6-month forced hiatus. Many fans are praying no delays will happen to Season 5.
He's going to the championship game.
Oh, it's the championship game?
Too much. I'm there. There. It's like, let's do it.
Number 2, structure and length. Another thing that needs to be noted here is that since Season 5 is the end of things for the show, the structure and feel to it from past seasons will not be in play here. The Duffer Brothers have said that they're not going to ease into things for the final season, they're going to go full throttle from the word go. Normally it's like, oh, we get to revisit the characters in their normal lives and how they're doing and what are their relationships like. And 5 is just going to be pedal to the metal from the opening scene. At least that's what I remember from the outline. Which leads us to episode length. With Stranger Things 4, things got a bit turned on their head, mainly because of the whole Volume 1 and Volume 2 deals. While much of Volume 1 had standard episode lengths, Volume 2 had lengths that rival movies, and definitely was not typical for Netflix. This was definitely part of that expanded cost in terms of the $30 million per episode that was noted for Season 4. Season 5 likely won't go too far beyond what they did with Season 4's episodes, but given that they want to stick the landing, we wouldn't be surprised if some of those episodes go truly big lengthwise, especially since the Duffers liked how things turned out. The runtimes were a bit of a surprise. They exceeded the length of the script. Usually they come in under the length of the script, so Ross and I are analyzing our screenwriting and seeing what we changed about the way we write that translated into these mega long episodes. But I like it. It's like a supersized season. So yeah, you waited longer, but you got almost double the length. Teases of the episodes have already gone up thanks to the Duffer Brothers, but we likely won't get anything concrete for some time.
No!
Yes.
No!
Number 1, realizing their success. Continuing on with the showrunners, the duo honestly didn't think that Stranger Things would become what it did. Matt noted that it was a slow burn of sorts to understand the famous show they had made. Well, it's funny when I think back on it, it was more of a slow realization. It definitely felt like Season 1 had the snowball effect. It was probably the whole Barb phenomenon. Ross and I didn't really understand social media at all at the time, but there were a bunch of articles and then people told Ross and I that this isn't normal, what's happening. But Netflix also took a really long time to tell us that we were doing okay. And that was a time when they didn't give numbers, right? They would just say, "We're very happy." So officially, we got "We're very happy." Then Saturday Night Live was the other big one where it was like, "That's crazy." Ross confirmed that hearing things from a fan so soon after Season 4 came out was quite a trip. Yeah, it's weird that you can get real-time, very quick feedback. The people that are staying up and watching 8 hours of Stranger Things at night, that's our hardcore fan base. So you can't necessarily go off of those reactions. But I remember just being excited. You could immediately see what was resonating, whether it was the Mac stuff in Dear Billy and Kate Bush, or the twist in Episode 7. So there was a bit of a relief that even in that early group of viewers, it was resonating, at least those moments. Obviously, the Kate Bush thing gave us our feedback. Our barometer was going, oh, okay, this is penetrating culture in a way, and that was really exciting to see. One can only imagine the reaction when things come to a head in 2024 when Season 5 of Stranger Things arrives. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at Stranger Things Season 5 and how things might be structurally different from the previous 4 seasons? Are you glad that new characters won't be introduced so you won't have to risk losing them in the final battle? What new faces do you think we honestly might see despite the Duffer Brothers' wishes? Let us know in the comments below and we will see you next time on the channel.